Disclaimer. The video that you're about to see falls under fair use. The characters I'm using aren't mine necessarily, but I'm gonna use them anyway. Also, disturbing content warning. If anything you find in this video you find offensive, kindly go and click on some other video, or tap depending on your device. Hey guys, it's Hannah, back in action. Sorry for the long wait. I've been working on that project for a while now. I had to change directions midway. Anyways, here is the highly anticipated part 9 of summarizing Captain Underpants. Before we get started, a quick recap of what's happened so far. Let me think. Oh, I'll just let the book explain. Ugh. Once upon a time, there was 2 cool kids named George Beard and Harold Hutchins. George is the kid on the left with the tie and the hat top and the flat top. Harold is the one on the right with the t-shirt and the bad haircut. Remember that now. They decided to hypnotize their mean principal into thinking he was the superhero Captain Underpants. But unfortunately, it got him into a lot of trouble. They had to save it from robots and talking toilets. And eventually, he had to get superpowers. Anyways, so now every time Mr. Krupp becomes Mr. Krupp hears a finger snap, he becomes Captain Underpants. And every time Captain Underpants gets flashed with leather, he becomes Mr. Krupp again. Everybody got that? Okay, so since our last adventure, George and Harold was gonna be arrested. Wait, what? Yeah, because they're evil versions from another dimension. Wait, hold up. Is this book 9? Yeah, this is book 9. Oh my gosh, I got my books mixed up. It's book 8 that's next. Ugh, silly me. Ugh. Sorry, I got a little excited. So anyways, George and Harold are snapping through space and time. And they're getting all zapped and getting all wibbly wobbly as they're traveling through space and time. Oh Lord, will somebody please stop this? They're disrupting, they're changing, they're zapping, there's smoke everywhere! And now, some deep thoughts of Dave Feagley. It's been said that adults spend the first 2 years of their children's lives trying to make them walk and talk. And then the next 16 years trying to get them to sit down and shut up. It's the same way with potty training. Most adults spend the first few years of a child's life cheerfully discussing pee and poopies, and how important it is to learn about your pee-pee and poo-poo in the potty like big people do. But once children have mastered the art of toilet training, they are immediately forbidden to ever talk about poop, pee, toilets, and other such bathroom-related subjects. Again, some things are suddenly considered rude and vulgar and are no longer rewarded with praise and cookies and juice boxes. One day you're a superstar because you pooped in the toilet like a big boy. The next day you're sitting in the principal's office because you said the word poopy in American history class, which, if you ask me, is a perfect place to say that word. You're probably wondering, why would adults do that? Why would they encourage something one day and discourage it the next? The only answer I can think of is that adults are totally bonkers and should be probably avoided at all times. Perhaps you'll be lucky to find a handful of grown-ups whom you can trust, but I'm sure we can all agree that you really have to keep an eye on most adults most of the time. Adults equals nuts, grown-ups equals screwballs. Which is just what George and Harold did. Unfortunately, the adults at George and Harold School were anything but trustworthy. Take their principal, Mr. Krupp, for example. Mr. Krupp's wicked heart thrived on the teardrops of children. He's very salty at the thought of crushing a child's spirit and dashing his or her hopes or dreams against the jagged rocks of never-ending despair. Woo! Hey! Day, Mr. Krupp would stand at the doorway to his office, gleefully handing out detention slips to any child who is unfortunate enough to cross his putrid path. And for very minor infractions, too, such as smiling, breathing without permission, or smelling funny. What the heck? As bad as Mr. Krupp was, most of the teachers in George and Harold School were even worse. Holy cow, they're like actively bullying these poor kids. What in the world? Fortunately for George and Harold, their evil educators were not very intelligent. They could be outsmarted easily, and they often were push button to open door. Now you might think that wasn't very sporting of George and Harold to try and outsmart dumb people, and perhaps you'd be right. But George and Harold were just trying to make the best out of a bad situation. But unfortunately for George and Harold, their bad situation was about to get much, much worse. Push on butt to open door. Look at him go. Woo! Okay. So George and Harold stepped out of the purple potty, ended up in a strange place where the library had books. And the librarian was nice, and Melvin Sidley was stupid. And very clumsy from the looks of it. In their school, well, it just seemed wrong. Very wrong. Miss Edith was nice. They put their stuff in their locker. And then, when they go to switch around the side, here comes Mr. Krupp, but there's something different about him. He seemed nicer, and he actually laughed at George and Harold's joke. I think there's something wrong here. It's an evil What is this? It's George and Harold. But how could that be? They switched the letters around the side to say something else. That's not so nice. Nice. And George and Harold figure out pretty quickly what's going on. They're in a strange backwards universe. They ended up where the cafeteria food is actually palatable, where the gym teacher is nice and teaches the kids how to have fun while exercising, and where all the previous villains, the Turbo Toilet 2000 is a crossing guard, Zarks, Klex, and Jennifer, and Professor Poopy Pants are firemen. The Booger, looks like Frankenbooger and Trixie are construction workers, and I guess Carl's a mailman, and Dr. Diaper is a police officer. They're all good guys here. What? And now they gotta get out of there. But, yeah, all their stuff is gone now. And in its place, we learn about the preposterous plight of Captain Blunderpants. Ooh. So, remember in the beginning when I summarized, like, what's happened so far? So, basically, we've got George and Harold, who were evil. And they hypnotize their nice principal to be evil as well. The evil Captain Blunderpants to steal things for them and turn their treehouse into a veritable penthouse. But then, the police has tried to catch him, but Captain Blunderpants is too fast. And worse yet, they pineapple on their pizza. Which is so dumb. I like pineapple on my pizza. I can't be the least bit evil, can I? I might be. Nah, I'm not bad. And so, George and Harold now have Captain Blunderpants to be their own personal slave and conquer the world. So, remember, whenever you snap your fingers around Captain Blunderpants, he'll become nice Mr. Krupp. But whenever you splash your head on Mr. Krupp, he becomes Captain Blunderpants. We may have a problem. They have their pets and now are headed to their penthouse. They hypnotize Sulu and their pterodactyl Cracker. Sulu attacks them like they ordered him to, and Cracker saves them. Huh, how nice of him! How very thoughtful of him! Why is he being itemized? So, Mr. Krupp chases the boys back to the purple potty, and then the purple potty starts jiggling and wiggling, getting ready to shoot off into the ether. But did they make it back? Well, the library doesn't have any books on the shelves. And the teachers are all jerks. It seems to have worked. But, maybe a little too well. Evil George. Evil George. Evil Harold. Nice Mr. Krupp. They realized they're in a reversed version of their universe. Ooh, woo, woo, woo. Hey, cut that out. Sorry. Anyways. So they splash nice Mr. Krupp with water. And you know what that means? He turns into Captain Blunderpants. La la tra. Anyways, so George and Harold get a hypno ring, an extra superpower juice, and they get down for their treehouse, and their grandparents are visiting. What a nice domestic moment. They say hello, put down their stuff so they can give their grandparents their specially made comic books. And their grandparents steal the superpower juice they were planning on drinking themselves. And read the comic. Wait. And you'll have to read the book yourself if you want to read this specific comic. And now they're evil twins are sneaking up into their treehouse, where they use the goosey grow on Sulu and turn him into a giant beast. Oh, look at him! He's enormous, and he's giant, and he's evil. So they hop on Crackers and try to distract him long enough to get the super strength, but it doesn't work. So they decided to call on their old friend, Captain Underpants. In order to defeat the monster. To make a long story short, it worked. So now the evil versions weren't that upset because they robbed a bank. And now for the battle of the century. Captain Underpants versus Captain Blunderpants. Never has Captain Underpants faced down someone who's been has fought his equal in terms of power and philosophy, and possibly philosophy, and snap, and yeah, about that. Sorry, guys. We tie him up, and then suddenly it starts raining. It couldn't have been that easy. Which immediately negates the effects of the hypno rig on Mr. Krupp, turning him Captain Underpants, turning it back to Mr. Krupp, and immediately snaps Mr. Captain Blunderpants into action. Both of them trying to snap them out of it. Can't. So Sulu has to fly them away. Luckily, they have the Shrinky Pig. George and Harold get captured. And Captain Blunderpants has them. But what's this? It's George and Harold's grandparents. They beg them not to do anything crazy, but then they activate their superpowers, which... Oh God, my eyes! Oh, criminy, I can't stand it. Okay. And now everything's set right again. Oh, look at them all being all gross and mushy. Ew, they're kissing. And then they fly away. Hey, and George and Harold fix Sulu back to normal. And kick the George and Harold. And kick away their evil twins. And everything is back to normal, more or less. George and Harold have a brief argument that something might go wrong. And to make a long story short, it does. They get arrested. Things just escalated. But then a pair of pants show up. And, oh, hey, it's Tippy Chinkle Trousers. Or I guess Professor Poopa Pants. Dang it, they really didn't stick with that, did they? Anyways, he zaps the cops. And starts chasing George and Harold. Oh no! Here we go again! The end.